Hey guys, welcome back to Colson's Critters. I'm Colson Smith, and in today's video, I'm gonna give you the top 5 best reef tanks on the internet. You guys are gonna wanna stay tuned till the end to see the best aquarium. It is just absolutely insane. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Starting off at number 5 is gonna be Viking Reefing. This is a beautiful 400-gallon SPS dominant tank. He has plenty of fish and coral in here. One of my favorite parts is that there's actually angelfish in here, and he can do this because he just has SPS, so angelfish don't eat SPS. He has tons of fish in this tank, from angelfish to copperband to tangs. He even has clownfish that are almost as big as some of his tangs. These aqua colonies and these fish are absolutely stunning, which is why it comes in at number 5. Now, to grow these amazing corals, he uses the Aurora V12 1500 light by Geisman, Germany. This tank is super clean and the corals have grown in super nicely. Also, one of my favorite parts is that he has a nice copperband butterfly, which is actually my logo. If you like nano reefs and you like torches, you're definitely gonna love this tank by Desktop Reef. Believe it or not, this is only a 15-gallon innovative marine tank filled with tons of torch corals and LPS. He mainly has torches, but there's also a beautiful acan garden and some zoas as well. On the right side of the tank, he has this beautiful mushroom garden. He also has some scullies, hammers, and toadstools, and tons of coral. This is definitely one of my favorite nano reef tanks. For other livestock other than the coral, he has a blood shrimp, a cleaner shrimp, and a few hermit crabs and different other crab species. He is about to get some new fish, so be sure to check him out on TikTok. He's also dosing Phyto every single day, and his corals are just absolutely loving it. He uses an AI prime on this tank. He also has a refugium in the back, but the craziest part about this tank is it's been only set up for 6 months. I'm a sucker for nano tanks, and this is definitely one of my favorite nano tanks out there. Coming in at number 3 is Chester Grove's Corals 180-gallon display tank. This tank is full of super nice corals that bring a really bright pop of color. He has a really good display and a nice overall setup. Like I said, this is a 180-gallon tank. He's using Ecotech's Radions and MP60s. One of the most noticeable things in this aquarium are these giant Iron Man mushrooms. They are super bright orange and an absolutely stunning piece in his aquarium. Another one of my favorite parts about this tank are these massive gonnies. And my favorite part is that the clownfish actually host them and swim through them, and the gonnies don't even seem to care. This is definitely one of my favorites on the list, and he has really nice coral and fish selection. Coming in at number 2 is going to be Coral Reef Zoa's Nano Tank. He has a super nice Red Sea Nano Reef Max that is actually a floating rock structure. This tank is super cool. I never see these that often. You don't see the floating rock structures too often. This one is definitely my favorite. It has these really nice scullies. It's a mixed reef. He even is growing SPS in his little nano tank. He's running an AI Prime, which is growing these corals beautifully. And I just love how clean and sleek this tank is. And I know y'all are wondering, how does this tank actually float? Well, it's actually glued to the back of the aquarium, so that's how it gives it this effect that it's floating. For livestock, he has this blue striped pipefish, and he actually has some damsels in here as well. He has this awesome clam that sits on the top of the aquarium, and it's doing magnificent. This is probably one of my all-time favorite reef tanks. Let me know if you guys want me to make a tank that has a floating rock structure. Before we get into number 1, I have 2 honorable mentions. Coming in at the first one would be SeaWorld's 12,000-gallon aquarium. The only reason I didn't really put this in the list is only an honorable mention is because it's technically not on the internet. Tons of people film it, but they don't have their own social media for it. So this tank is absolutely beautiful. It's 12,000 gallons. I've made a full video on it before in the past if you guys want to check it out. This tank is just absolutely massive. There's tons of corals in it. The corals are huge. The fish are massive. I remember there being a flame angel in the tank. It was literally like this big. The corals are absolutely growing in fantastically, and the fish are just super fat and healthy. The next honorable mention is gonna be my dad's 150-gallon reef tank that's behind me here. Super nice reef tank. We have SPS, LPS, and softies. I made a full in-depth video with my dad. If you guys want to check that out, it'll be the first link in the description. But he has tons of fish and coral. He prides himself on his fish and he feeds them a ton. All his fish are almost as wide as they are long. And the tank that takes the cake of the number 1 tank on the internet is going to be Andrew Sandler's 17,000-gallon aquarium. This aquarium is the largest in-home aquarium in the United States. The dimensions are 16 feet by 16 feet by 9 feet. It is a huge tank and it's so expensive to take care of. I think he goes through 20 to 30 grand a month taking care of this tank. There's some super expensive fish in here. Some of them go for over $20,000 alone. He has thousands and thousands of fish and coral in this tank, from inverts to SPS, LPS, softies to fish. There's just so many fish that he lost count at about 500. Andrew Sandler set this tank up in 2019. He's been reefing for over 30 years, and he has a full staff that actually works on this tank and runs his social media. This tank is in New York, and it's just one of my dreams to go out there and look at this tank one day. So maybe we'll do that for a video at some point in time. Andrew Sandler, let me know. That's gonna be my list of my top 5 best reef tanks on the internet right now. If you think your tank deserved to be on there, let me know down in the comments. I'll definitely make a part 2 of this. It was definitely fun to make. Shout out to all the people that I used in this video. So all their links of the social media will be in the description. Be sure to check them out. Till next time, peace.